So we're in here and we're going to talk about the how much does it mass lab. Okay, so we're going to look at this. If you can see, I have already taken all of my grams. I've converted them to kilograms. This is a label. It doesn't really mean much. This is important. All right, I had to convert everything from grams to kilograms, and this is my one example. I only have to do it once, but then I'm good. So now let's go ahead and we're going to start our analysis. So here's our analysis number one, and it's identify the variables in step one. So let me see if I can get all of this in here. Is that going to work? Give me a sec. Hey, that'll work. Okay. So does mass depend on weight, or does weight depend on mass? So basically we're identifying our independent and our dependent variable. So the question is, what did I physically change? My hands physically touched the masses. So that means that my independent variable must be the mass. Okay, so that means that my unit for this was kilograms. So if that was my mass, then when my mass changed, that means my dependent variable was weight. And if you remember, I said that this is a Newton. So our graph title then, double checking something here. Okay, our graph title is going to be, this is basically step two, is always y versus x. In this case, y versus x, weight versus mass. Okay? All right, and to be more specific, it's for suspended objects. Now, the next part that we're going to do is we are going to scale the graph. Now, we've seen this before. This part always seems to cause people issues, but we're going to go over it right now. We're going to scale the graphs, and to do this, we are going to identify the maximum and minimum measurements, and we're going to count how many boxes we have on each. Okay, so let's do our mass first. Okay, I don't like how much room there is there. But anyway, our maximum mass was right here. Okay, so for mass, I'm going to use my maximum was 0.404 kilograms. And I'm just going to say 0 was my minimum. I'm going to do that for both of these, okay? All right, so what that means here, now our equation is right here. It's max minus min divided by the number of boxes. So for my scale, for the mass down here, it's 0.404 minus 0 divided by 20. So that gives me a scale of, getting a calculator, okay, so my calculator says it's 0.0202. All right, that is unfortunately bigger than 0.02, so I can't use that. Remember, we always round up. So the next easy number from 0.02 would be 0.025. So I'm going to make each one of these, and I have to write it up because I need some room, 0.025. That makes this one 0.05. 0.075, whoops, 0.1. So that's 0.1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Every 4 squares is 0.1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.4, okay? And each time I go up, I'm going up by 0.025. 0.05, each time it goes up by 0.025. Okay, it's kind of messy. I hope you get what I'm talking about in there. I'm sure you'll ask if you have questions. So that's my scale for the mass. I'm going to do the weight. My biggest number on the weight was 4.1. So for weight, 4.1 is our max. minus 0 for our minimum, divided by 20. Calculator, 4.1 divided by 20. All right. Oh, that's amazing. Let's look at that. 0.205. So in this case, I need to take that and I need to round it up. I'm going to round it up to 0.25 to make it nice and easy. Kind of interesting how these are both the same thing, just a different magnitude. Okay. So that means my scale from my X, that means every box is worth 0.025 kilograms. And for my Y, every box is 0.25 newtons. 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes give me 1. 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So basically I'm saying 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2.0. I'm just going on like that. So we have scaled. What's our next step? Is to plot the points. Got to make sure we're using our scale when I do this. So I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. My first data point is 0.154. That's all I'm going to do right now. So it's 0.1, 0.12, whoops. There we go. So it's 0.1, I'm looking for 0.154. 0.1, 0.125, 0.15, so it's going to be rated just bigger than that. And it's 1.4. Here's 1, 1.25, 1.5, so it's a little bit less than that. So there I go. All right, I'm going to hit pause, and I'm just going to plot all these points. Well, I'll do one more, and then I'm going to hit pause, and I'll plot the rest of the points. My next number was 0.253 and 2.4, okay? So I'm going to come on over here. Here's 0.2, 0.225, 0.25. Okay, so we rated a little bit bigger than this. And I'm going to go all the way up. Here's 2, 2.25, 2.5. It's a little bit less. Okay, so basically you see what we're doing. I'm just going to plot the rest of my points, and I'll come right back.